Jason Bradley DeFord, better known to the world as Jelly Roll, the tattooed troubadour of country rap fusion whose gravelly confessions have hooked millions, faced an abrupt and gut-wrenching halt to his inaugural Australia and New Zealand jaunt. What was meant to be a euphoric capstone, a sold-out spectacle at Auckland's outer fields at Western Springs, dissolved into disappointment just hours before curtain call. The 40-year-old Grammy nominee, whose real name evokes the humble southern roots that fuel his storytelling, took to Instagram stories with a message laced in raw vulnerability, a cancellation born of unrelenting health woes that even his ironclad work ethic couldn't conquer. In a career built on showing up through storms, addiction recovery, incarceration, and the grind of indie hustling, this missive marked a rare surrender, leaving fans worldwide reeling and underscoring the human fragility behind the larger-than-life persona. The build-up to this down-under debut had been electric. Jelly Roll, whose breakthrough album Whitsett Chapel blended hip-hop bravado with Nashville twang, announced the tour as a bucket-list milestone. Australia and New Zealand, with their voracious appetite for genre benders like Post Malone and Zach Bryan, promised uncharted territory for the Tennessee native. Kicking off in Melbourne with back-to-back assaults on Rod Laver Arena, where 30,000-plus devotees sang along to Son of a Sinner, like a revival tent, Jelly Roll delivered sweat-soaked sets that fused booming bass drops with acoustic confessionals. Sydney's Kudos Bank Arena fell next, a sold-out frenzy where he crowd-surfed during Save Me, his massive frame bobbing like a buoy in a mosh pit sea. Adelaide's AEC Theatre offered an intimate pivot, fans close enough to see the scars, literal and figurative, that map his journey from Nashville streets to stadiums. The tour's diversity was its genius. Arena anthems gave way to festival flair at the inaugural Strummingbird Festival on Queensland's Sunshine Coast, where Jelly Roll headlined alongside Aussie acts like the Chats, his set a sun-drenched ode to redemption. Newcastle and Perth followed, each stop layering local flavor, sharing Vegemite-fueled tales with openers, incorporating didgeridoo samples into Need a Favor. Tickets evaporated like morning mist, over 100,000 across the run, many fans flying from remote outback towns or across the Tasman Sea. Social media buzzed with testimonials. A Kiwi dad tattooing Jelly Roll lyrics post-show, a Melbourne teen crediting The Losing Side of Me for pulling her from despair. It was validation for an artist who'd clawed from SoundCloud obscurity, his music a lifeline for the overlooked. Then Auckland, the grand finale. Western Springs, that verdant bowl once sacred to Maori gatherings, now a modern mecca for icons like Foo Fighters, awaited 25,000 souls. Merch lines snaked for hours. Tailgates featured barbecues and bootleg playlists heavy on Whitsett Chapel cuts. Fans, many donning Jelly Roll's signature bandanas and beautifully broken tees, arrived buzzing. Some from hours away, chartering buses from Wellington or ferrying from islands. The air hummed with chants of "half a man," anticipation peaking as dusk fell. But inside the venue, whispers spread. Delays, soundcheck overruns. Then the hammer. Live Nation's stark statement, regretting the cancellation due to illness, mere hours before gates opened. No rescheduled tease, just a refund promise and a plea for understanding. Jelly Roll's Instagram drop hit like a gut punch. Filmed in what looked like a stark hotel room, tattooed arms gesturing emphatically, voice cracking. He poured out, "Dear Auckland, I've done everything I can. I just can't shake it." The "it" remained vague. Health issues, perhaps the toll of jet lag, endless flights, and a body taxed by years of hard living. He'd battled pneumonia mid-tour before, powering through with 4 drips and sheer will, but this was different. "It breaks my heart," he continued, eyes rimmed red. "I've probably missed 3 shows in the last decade. I pride myself on showing up no matter what. Just couldn't do it this time. Please forgive me." The plea hung heavy, a man who'd turned prison bars into platinum records now barred by his own frailty. Fan fallout was swift and visceral. Arriving throngs, met by apologetic staff and shuttered entrances, vented frustration online. #Jelly Roll Auckland trending with pleas for makeup dates. One mother who'd driven 400 kilometers with her teen son, a Jelly Roll devotee since his incarceration-inspired tracks helped his anxiety, posted a tearful video. "We needed this." Others, pragmatic, shared empathy. "Take care of yourself, King, we'll wait." The late notice stung deepest for remote travelers, some forking out for flights they'd never recoup fully. Yet, Jelly Roll's authenticity buffered the blow. His transparency, a hallmark from raw tracks like "Dead Man Walking," fostered loyalty over outrage. This isn't Jelly Roll's first brush with adversity. Born Jason DeFord in Antioch, Tennessee, he navigated a childhood scarred by parental addiction, finding solace in hip-hop's raw edges. By 15 he'd inked his first tat, a skull grinning defiantly, and by 16 faced felony charges for drugs, landing in youth detention. Prison stints followed, where he honed rhymes scribbled on prison-issue paper, emerging to hustle mixtapes at Nashville flea markets. His pivot to country came via wife Bunny XO, the podcasting firebrand whose support steadied his ship. Hits like Save Me, a suicide prevention plea, catapulted him to CMA awards, but health shadows loomed, obesity battles, sleep apnea, the cumulative wear of a voice strained by screams and sobs. The tour's premature end spotlights touring's perils, especially for artists like Jelly Roll whose intensity demands physical tolls. Postponements plagued the industry, COVID waves, wildfires, personal crises, but his felt personal, a coda to a run that showcased his evolution. Melbourne's opener featured a surprise guest, T.I. for a trap country medley, Sydney's encore, a fan-on-stage four-creature duet. Strummingbird's sunset slot, with eucalyptus scents wafting, evoked his Appalachian soul. Auckland's loss deprives fans of that chapter, but rescheduling whispers circulate, perhaps a 2026 return, beefed with Kiwi collabs. In the aftermath, Jelly Roll retreated to Nashville, teasing studio sessions on socials, healing to hustle harder. Bunny's posts, laced with humor, "My man's down but not out," rally the faithful. Fans counter with positivity floods. Playlists curated for his recovery, art tributes of him as a phoenix. This hiccup, painful as it is, reinforces Jelly Roll's ethos, vulnerability as strength. His music, born from breaking points, reminds that stumbles precede strides. As he mends, the down-under dream lingers, a postponed encore waiting to thunder. For now, Auckland's silence echoes his words. Forgiveness in the face of frailty, love louder than letdowns.